Looks like I spoke way too soon, ladies and gentlemen. It is back. Fortnite 2 is here. I know it's Chapter 2, but I'm gonna call it Fortnite 2 for the memes, okay? It's back. It's here. 2 days of downtime wasn't gonna stop Fortnite. It is here to stay. Chapter 2, it is on, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this game is still early access, and I was still excited to play Save the World, but unfortunately I might actually have to get drunk and buy that one day. But for now, the Battle Royale is where it is. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they revamped the game. It's a whole new world out there, new map. Some of the older stuff is still present, of course, but it is redesigned. It's got an XP bar, I guess you could say, like those classic Call of Duty games. The grind is easier, as some people say, which I guess it is to an extent. And the actual reworks to the game are pretty interesting. You can fish. I mean, it ain't no Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's fishing, and you can get new guns. You can get them fishes. It's got some what you might call it Saving Private Ryan moments. You can grab your homies when they're down, take them somewhere good, and pass them around and revive them up. Call it a day. It's got some reworks. You can finally swim and all that. It's a revamped game at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like this idea of Chapter 2 really meant a lot, and I said in my last video that I was going to play this game. I was going to give it a chance. It's a free-to-play game. Obviously, I'm not losing any money playing it, so I'm going to try it. I mean, what harm is there? If I'm going to say something is shit, in my opinion, I have to actually play it to know that it is shit. Now, I was never into Fortnite 1, okay? I never really cared. I didn't like that game to an extent because while the shooting for me never really, resonated well enough, I didn't like the fact that there was always, the concept of playing Minecraft in a battlefield or whatever. And yeah, sure, maybe that's me being a boomer, and I'll admit that for sure. That was definitely me being a boomer, and I still am. The thing with Fortnite 2 is, well, Fortnite Chapter 2 is the building is still there, the gunfighting is still there. I mean, those are aspects of Fortnite you'll never take out. But I have committed to trying learning it while I was playing it, and for the most part I did relatively well. Like, I'm not the best Fortnite player, but I think I was holding my own in this game, fairly enough. Like, there was one game where I got, like, what, 7 or 8 eliminations, which means a lot to me. Now, continuing on to this train, ladies and gentlemen, with Fortnite 2, there are reworks, of course. Like I said, the game feels better to play. Like, I feel like my shots hit more on point, and while I'm not exactly great at building, I'm doing the best that I can. For the most part, it is relatively the same game. There is the concept of, I mean, it plays the same, it feels the same, and it does everything the same, is what it is. It's just slightly reworked. Now, Fortnite is one of those games where it does update a lot, and throughout every season, a lot of stuff does change in this game, and it reminds me a lot of course, Rainbow Six Siege, where a lot of stuff does change from season to season, and that I can respect a Battle Royale game doing. For me, though, I've realized playing Chapter 2 is I'm not really into Battle Royales. I guess maybe I played too much of them when they were out. When I played PUBG for a fair bit, which was the original crack den for Battle Royale games, but when Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty Blackout came out, like better, shinier crack dens where the crack dealer wouldn't stab you every once in a while, and they fixed up the floorboards or whatever, so you wouldn't be falling through, all that nonsense. PUBG is one of those games where they never fixed jack, okay? Like, I can go back to that game and still find something new and janky every time. Fortnite was one of those games where, yeah, I didn't like it, but I couldn't deny that Fortnite wasn't at least a functional game, okay? Apex is a functional game, Blackout's a functional game. Now, when it comes to Battle Royale games, I'm more of an Apex Legends person. Like, I can play that game because I also really love Titanfall, and Apex is a genuinely great game. Like, I came back to it a couple nights ago, and I immediately just dominated and got the victory royale, the champion, if you will. Now, I came to Fortnite 2, and while it didn't grab me the same way Apex did, I was actually impressed to find that the community was really fun. Like, the games that I played in quads was really fun. Like, the community was really cool. The gameplay additions were really interesting. Of course, like, the whole concept of grabbing your buddies and throwing them around and saving them meant a real lot. Like, the amount of teamwork done in this game seems amplified because of this new season, if it makes any sense. Now, what I don't really like about this game, and what really hasn't changed, is the whole concept of looting. Because Fortnite is a smaller map, because it contains the smaller map in this game, versus other Battle Royale games, the games tend to go by a little quicker. But the looting in the game, I feel, when people drop into these central hubs, half the players will get weapons, half won't. It really comes down to looting luck, which I just don't care too much for. The concept of legendary, rare guns in this game really don't appeal to me. I feel like if you pick up a Scar of any quality, it should work the same regardless of how it is. Now, even that being said, even all of that being said in that regard, what I realize I don't really like about these games to begin with is Fortnite, and like most other Battle Royale games, it's like 90% downtime, 10% adrenaline rush. If I'm going to play a Fortnite or I'm going to play an Apex Legends, while I do like those games, playing them here and there, if I'm gonna play a PvP game, I'd rather load up something like CS:GO or Rainbow Six Siege. I know it's not the same game; the whole concepts are different. One is a 5v5 tactical. One is a tactical, semi-open world, survive against 100 players type deal. And even with that said, when I'm playing a game with 90% downtime, it always makes me wonder why I'm not playing an RPG or a single-player game, which I mostly play these days. Now, going into playing this game, even with all that said, and with all of my resentment towards Fortnite and how much I really don't care for it, I find this to be a serviceable game, all right? Like, I'm going to say it as it is. This game is pretty serviceable, and if you have friends, it is actually pretty fun. But then again, every game is fun with friends. Fallout 76 is fun with friends. So every game can be fun with friends, ladies and gentlemen. Now, every AAA publisher has tried a Battle Royale. Every single one of them have. And I used to be the one saying that Fortnite was only successful because it was free-to-play, which I still believe, like, a big part of it is because it's a free-to-play game. But a lot of it shows that if you want your game to be successful, you have to be willing to put in the effort for it. And it's really why the games that are the most successful these days do have a level of effort put into it. While I don't really care too much for Fortnite or even Fortnite 2, it's all right. I can definitely see that these reworks and revamps do ultimately change the game and make them better. Like, it shows that Epic, or at least the Fortnite developer, is at least trying to make the game better. Like, if I can go from resenting and not liking this game's playstyle to actually somewhat enjoying playing it even by myself, it does mean a lot. And I hope that, with that said, it makes the people who are playing Fortnite, who are really into it, genuinely enjoy it even more if it works out that way. But yeah, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, it's a serviceable, functional game. And to be honest with you, would I actively play it? I think I would if I had a team or a group of friends really getting into it with me. But for the most part, like I said, Battle Royales for me, I don't think I'm going to get into it anytime soon. But for Fortnite 2, I was willing to give it a try. And I did give it a try. I expected to do this like a week or 2 weeks later. Nobody really knew when this would be back. But it's back. And I think it's stronger than ever. People are talking about it. The marketing style they went for was really well done. I think it was just server downtime, but they found a really cool way to bring it around. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about Fortnite Chapter 2. I mean, at the end of the day, I recommend that if you're on the fence about it, just give it a try. It's a free-to-play game. What are you going to lose? Download it, give it a try, call it a day, be done. I still think it's a game geared towards kids, and it's definitely a microtransaction hell at this point, but even disregarding all that, even if you're never going to buy battle passes, I'm never going to buy them, I'm never going to buy V-Bucks. If you're just looking at the core gameplay, it works. It's all right. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I am out.